Oh my god. What's happening, people? It is I, back at it again with another video. This is literally my fourth attempt trying to record this video. Like, the first time, I don't even know what happened. I just was a mess. The second time, it was out of focus. Look, I'm gonna be clear, I'm gonna be concise, I'm gonna get right to the point. I'm making this video to talk about 4 new astral projection experiences I've had since the last video I made on November 2nd. This video is going to be strictly experiences, just like the last one. I'm not going to be talking about technique, I'm not going to be talking about how to practice. If you want to find that information, I'll throw some links in the description of how I've learned. I'm talking about people like Koi Fresco, like Ryan Cropper, like people that really know what they're doing. Those are the technique videos that you want to watch, because at this point, I'm still so new to this, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just attempting from the best possible place that I know how. Okay, does that even make sense? It probably doesn't make sense. First experience that I had was very similar to a Michael Rudega seminar. Like, if any of you have ever seen Michael Rudega on YouTube, he's got a 3-part seminar on how to leave your body. It's called How to Exit Your Body in 3 Days. Each part of the seminar is 2.5 hours. It's freaking long. I recommend you watch it because it's really helpful. So essentially in this seminar, he talks about the first 3 things that you're going to do when you exit your body are, first, you're going to find a mirror, okay? You're going to look in the mirror, examine yourself, appreciate yourself, see the differences. Weird things happen when you look in the mirror is his argument. The second thing, you're going to try to eat some food, okay? Same kind of thing. Feel the food. What does it taste like? How does it differ from, 3D? And 3, go about your goals. Set a goal, go do it. If you want to, go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, go do it. If you want to go to Jupiter, go do it, okay? I am still a little scratchy on that point. I always forget to make a plan. I'm just kind of like, oh my god, here I am, and I just go crazy. So, so after watching this seminar, essentially I was like, okay, I'm going to find myself a mirror. So I come out of my body, okay? I don't exactly remember what the circumstances were for this astral projection. I just remember it was very calm. For me, earlier in my career, right, they were very intense. It sounded like a jet was going off in my ear. My body would be shaking and I wouldn't let the vibrations subside. I would just get up and go. This was pretty chill. Like, I felt pretty normal. I felt like a lot of energy within me, but I didn't feel like it was overwhelming. I felt pretty in control, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find a mirror. So I walk out of my house. I didn't just appear in front of the mirror. In Michael Rudega's seminar, he's talking about you just appear in front of the mirror. I wandered to the mirror, okay? So I go out of my room, I go into the main part of my house, and then I go into my bathroom, okay? And so I'm in my bathroom. It's like, Tron universe, blue kind of tint to everything. It's very dark. And I look in the mirror, and it's a kid. It's me, but I'm like 10 or 11. It's me, but a younger version of me. I'm like, okay, this is really interesting. So I start walking close to the mirror, and obviously the reflection of me does as well. And since it's like a kid, it's like pretty short, right? So it's like I'm looking, but I'm looking down. And so the closer I get to the mirror, the harder it is for me to see the kid. So I'm like looking over the ledge of the mirror at myself, and all of a sudden I fall through the mirror, and like a slinky I fell through the mirror. It was like part of me was still here, part of me was through the mirror, and the other part of me collapsed into... Does this make sense? I don't know. But so I could basically collapsed into my bed, and I'm back in 3D, and I'm breathing heavily, and I'm like, oh my god, what was that? So what did I take away from this experience? I don't know. I think a lot of the time I look at myself as a child in a lot of ways. Like, I will visualize, and not necessarily visualize myself, but think of myself, my being, as like younger than I really am. Okay, I'm 21, and I will think of myself in a much younger position, and that's something that I've been trying to work on recently, to be more responsible, more accountable for my reality, in that I'm in control. Like, I am the boss. I am a man. I'm not a kid. I'm a man. Okay? I don't know if any of you have ever read Game of Thrones, but I'm currently reading book 5 of Game of Thrones, and there's a part where Maester Aemon tells Jon Snow that he has to kill the boy within. Okay, my cat is insane. You gotta kill the boy within, so that's something that I kind of think about. Not necessarily kill the boy within, because, creativity and that curiosity that children emulate is something that I try to emulate as well, but the sense of not being in control, feeling like things are kind of out of your grasp, you're too immature, you're not good enough. Does that make sense? To be able to achieve things or take control of things. That's kind of a belief system that I'm trying to move away from, because I really do believe that, you know, the human consciousness is incredibly powerful and that we are completely in control of our reality. And so that's something that I'm trying to be a little more responsible for. So the next one is actually two experiences, but I'm going to group them into one because they're very similar in that they were astral projections that came out of dreams. This is something that I've never really heard anybody talk about, and I found to be incredible. You know, it was just so fascinating how it happened, and just mind-blowing to me. Both experiences went very similarly in that I astral projected out of a dream, so I was dreaming and then I astral projected and then I went back into the dream. I don't know how to, I've never heard of that happening to anybody before, and so that's something I'm going to recount. So the first experience, I was in my upstairs. My attic is a finished room, and so the walls are not like this, they're more like this, right? But it's a finished room, carpet, you know, painted walls, insulation, all that, you know. It's basically a guest room and a work study space all in one. So I had a dream that I was in a class. I'm taking a college class right now on campaigns, like, you know, political campaigns. Essentially, it was my professor and all of my classmates in that room. My professor is teaching to us, she's lecturing to us, and we're like sitting on the furniture that's in my attic. We're, you know, sitting on couches. It was kind of chill, real live, okay? And so we're like eating food too. It's like a really relaxed class period. And for some reason in that class period, we got to talking about spirituality and just the universe and the different dimensions of the universe for some reason. I was like, you know what? I can astral project. This would be something really cool to show these people. For some reason, I thought I could show them. Maybe if you're really skilled, you can, you know, like I've heard of people that enter other people's dreams and that people see them, like they see like a ghost in the 3D. So maybe you can do that, but I'm not good enough to do that. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to show these people that I can astral project. So basically, I lay down on this couch, right? I'm just lying down. I'm just lying down in the middle of this class period in my attic. Dreams are weird, yo. And I tried to astral project, and I found it was so easy. Like, I basically just immediately was like, my body's gonna leave my spirit body's gonna leave my physical body, and it happened. Like, instantly it happened. And I rise up, but when I rise up, I'm in my room, right? I'm back downstairs in my room. And it definitely is the astral plane. Like, everything's very dark. You got that Tron type tint going on in the room. And it's very physical. Like, anybody that knows the astral plane knows the difference between an astral projection and a dream, because it is very physical. A dream is a little more hazy. No. This was real. This was the astral plane. And so I was like, okay, very weird. So I leave my room and I go upstairs, and nothing, there's, you know, obviously no teacher there, no other students, no nothing, you know, it's the astral plane, it's empty, it's not my dream anymore. I'm like, okay, interesting, not sure why I did this. Something that stuck out to me was that there was a being upstairs. In the astral projection there was another being, and I got this feeling as though I was being watched. And the being clearly did have its attention on me, and I felt its presence. But what was fascinating to me was it was very similar to feelings that I feel, or that my family describes feeling, when we're up in that space alone. Now we suspect that there is some kind of ghost in our house. Like, our house is quote unquote haunted. Not any kind of malevolent spirit, but definitely that there is another being in the house. And that was exactly the same feeling that I felt when I was up there experiencing that being, far more, I don't know, I experienced it more than I normally do in the 3D. And so that's really stuck out to me, like, you know, I've heard of people discussing, you know, encounters with spirits, encounters with ghosts in the astral plane that they suspect are also having some type of influence on the 3D. And I don't know, maybe that's what it was. So the other one that kind of ties into this is, oh, no, let me go back. So after I experienced that being, I went back downstairs and I got back in my bed. like an astral projection that ended by me getting back into my bed. And I woke back up in the dream. What? Like, so I just got back up in my seat. I remember I was lying on the couch, and so I just got back up on the couch, and I just remember sitting next to my friend Alex, who's also in this class, and I don't remember what I was really saying to him, but I was kind of listening to my professor and kind of talking to him. Yeah, dreams are weird. Like, why is your state of mind not retracting and really thinking about what just happened? I don't know. I kind of just went about the class period like, okay, I did it. Awesome. So the next one is, I was a student in Hogwarts. Okay, so this is a dream, right? So I'm with my Hogwarts homies. We're just, skipping about the halls, doing whatever Hogwarts kids do. And I remember this huge room with all these books. Multi-level, very open space, like a library. There was a lot of fireplaces. It was a really cool spot. Like, my dream, like, I'm gonna build a place like this one day, okay? It's gonna be like a library with fireplaces that's like, the middle part is open. It's gonna be sick. I invite you all to come. Okay, so I was literally just editing this video and I realized that I forgot a major part. I guess the camera turned off and bleeped out a part, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it real quick. Essentially, when we're walking through Hogwarts, I had this realization, all of these books and all of this stuff is like floating around, moving around. It's Hogwarts, right? It's the magical, wonderful wizarding world. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, there are ghosts in here, are there not? And so, how would one see a ghost? And I realized that astral projection is like literally the #1 way to go see ghosts for real, for real. That's what everybody on YouTube talks about. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to my dorm room, I'm gonna lie down, I'm gonna astral project, and I'm gonna be able to see these ghosts. I guarantee it. Carrying on. So I walk back through Hogwarts, right? And I walk back into my dormitory room, and I get in bed and I lie down. And same thing, I try to astral project, and it's so easy. I immediately felt my energy body leave my physical body. And same thing, I woke up in my room. And so I'm in my room in my house, and dark, very Tron-like, like kind of bluish tints to a lot of things, and I got really scared. I got really uncomfortable because I was like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Does that make sense? And so I pretty much just got up and I'm standing in my room and I'm looking around. All my desks, my dressers, all the big furniture stuff is there, but there's really no little things around. Like, I got little piles of books around my room and stuff, and none of that. My wallet sitting on the desk, no little things. It was just the main big, components of my room, and I'm really uncomfortable, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back into my bed, lie back down, hopefully wake back up in wherever. I don't know. So I did. I laid back in my bed, and then I woke back up in my Hogwarts bed, and I walk out of my Hogwarts dorm room, and there are ghosts. There are now ghosts like flying around. Like, if any of you have ever played the Hogwarts games that came out in the early 2000s that were for like the computer, I'm pretty sure for the PS2 also, there was a dude named Peeves the Poltergeist. Peeves is in the books too, but he's not in the movies. But Peeves is like a very cartoonish, chubby looking, like cackly dude who just flies around and causes mischief. And in the dream, all the ghosts were like that too. They weren't mischievous, but they were like cartoony, chubby, tuxedo wearing, like laughing, pompous, like ghosts, right? And they're just flying around doing ghosty stuff. And I was like, oh, huh, okay. Well, I guess it worked. And I think in my head I was astral projecting in the school. Like, now that I think about it, and this is interesting because I didn't put this in the other videos, but I thought that I was in an astral projection in the dream. And is that a thing? Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but I remember I was still with my homies, so maybe it was all right up here. Maybe it's all right up here. But another video for another day. So the final projection experience, and by far the most mind-blowing. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. I don't remember exactly which Sunday, but I was like, you know what? I was being lazy. I should have been being productive. I was being lazy. My bad. And I was like, I'm going to try to astral project. So obviously it's the middle of the day. I had to darken my room, but I don't have like a shade, you know, that I can pull over my window. So I basically just put a shirt over my eyes. And so I'm lying there and I put the shirt over my eyes and I practice the technique. Now the technique that I have been doing is one that I learned from Koi Fresco, where essentially you visualize your room, right? You visualize the space that you are in, and you visualize the space for a long period of time, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know, every single detail, all of the furniture, all the things on the walls, all the things on the floor, every single detail. And then you move on to your own body and you visualize your feet, your hands, you know, you feel everything. Maybe you shouldn't feel, I don't know. But so I'd been doing that for a while, and I actually ended up I thought I had just fallen asleep. Now, I woke up, and I wake up and I throw my feet over my bed and I'm sitting in the bed and I feel very much intense vibrational feeling. Not as intense as, you know, it is in the early stages or things that I felt before. Like, you know, the first couple astral projection experiences I had, it was so intense. I felt this massive vibration just charging through my body, like it was literally rocking me. Now this wasn't quite that much, but it was like a buzz. And it was kind of like somebody had shot a gun next to my ear. Like there was a loud ringing in my ear. And so I'm sitting in my bed, and that all kind of starts to subside, and I'm like, whoa, okay, that's weird. Just kind of really focused on the feeling. Now, bear in mind, everything around me was normal. You know, there was color to everything. You know, my hands were my hands. My body was, I was wearing the same clothes I was wearing. All the color was in my clothes. I was like, okay, interesting. I wonder what, that felt kind of weird. Like, I thought I astral projected, but I guess not. And so I get up and I walk out of my room, and I walk through my house. It's the middle of the day, and I walk into my kitchen, and my dad's in the kitchen, and he's like washing dishes with his hands. You know, our dishwasher has been broken for over 5 years, so we wash all our dishes by hand. It's actually a lot better. Talk to your parents. Anyway, so he's like washing a plate or something. He puts the plate away. I'm like, you know, he's like, oh, how's it going? I was like, good. You know, I tried to astral project. I've been telling him what astral projection is. So I was like, you know, I tried to astral project, but I guess it didn't work. He's like, yeah, I guess not. I was like, yeah, okay. So, you know, that little conversation ends. I walk downstairs. You know, through my basement, we have a door that goes to our backyard. So I walk out the back door, and my mom's out there, and she's just like picking weeds, which is weird because it's like cold outside. So why would she be weeding? Yeah, I don't know. Moms just do mom stuff, right? And so she's like picking weeds, and I go up, and she gives me this like face, and she gives me like a sarcastic hello, like you've been sleeping. It's the middle of the day, you head ass type hello. And I'm like, yeah. And she's just kind of chuckling at me, and I'm like, where's Olivia? And Olivia's my sister, and she's like, oh yeah, she's out in the back with her friends. They're trying to make a fire. And so I see Olivia, which is my sister, and a couple other girls like standing around this fire pit. Maybe they're not girls. I don't know, man. I see some theys, okay? I see some theys. And theys be chilling about the fire pit, okay? Keep off me. And so I walk out through the backyard. I'm just like strolling through the yard. And I walk up to the fire pit, and I immediately like kneel down to blow on the fire, because I'm that dude. I have the dragon breath, okay? I make the fire happen. And so I kneel down to breathe on the fire. And before I do, I look up. And my sister's friends are like the mentors, yo. They're normal. Their whole bodies are normal. Their heads are completely normal, except their faces are sunk back in, like somebody basically just took a smudge tool on Photoshop and just click. Except also like sunk in like a billion light years away. And I'm looking at all these people like, what the hell am I looking at? And then all of it, like, my heart starts to rush. And And then my sister, like, I look at my sister and she's normal. Like, she's completely normal. And she looks at me and she goes, "You're not supposed to be here." And all of a sudden it felt like somebody had just like grabbed the back of my shirt and yanked me through a wormhole. And I'm basically like falling through some Alice in Wonderland type shit. And I land in my bed. And it's back in the 3D. And I'm like breathing so heavily. Like, what in God's name? And that was by far one of the weirdest things that has ever happened to me in my life. And I've had some weird things happen in my life, okay? I don't know what to take away from, like, it was real. It was so real, okay? There was color in everything. Everything felt physically real. I felt like I was literally, everything was completely normal. I don't know how else to describe it. As far as my sister's friends, that was the only thing that was weird, okay? And that was really weird. I don't necessarily not like my sister's friends. Like, I have not liked some of them in the past, but I do like some of them, and I have liked some of them in the past, and so it's like, you know, any relationship ever, right? So I'm trying to think, like, is there some takeaway there? I don't know. That's personal. Anyway, so those are the experiences that I've had. I will update you guys again in the future when I have more experiences. Please like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel for more ridiculous content in the future. And yeah, peace, much love, and I'll talk to y'all later.